Good afternoon. Thank you for staying with us here on THV 11 Plus. This is Arkansas News Now. I'm Ashley King with meteorologist Nathan Scott. We've been talking about how the weather today has turned out pretty nice, but you were saying we need the rain and it's coming again.
I wish what we're seeing out there right now would stick around for the weekend. We got blue sky, some high clouds filtering out the sun, but overall it's a pleasant Wednesday across central Arkansas. However, Valentine's Day, it's going to be sour. We're going to have a good chance of rain throughout the day. Some of that rain will be heavy at times, and we do still have that THV 11 weather impact alert all day long. Now, will it be a washout? I don't think it's going to be a washout. I think there will be a little lull in the activity, but you definitely want to keep your umbrella close by and go ahead and download the THV 11 Plus app for the latest information. 58 is the number in Little Rock. It's 57 in Camden, still a deck of clouds located across South Arkansas, and these clouds are still producing a few showers through DeShay County, also Lincoln County, and into parts of Drew County. That's going to be making its way off to the east. Highs today topping out into the low, possibly mid-60s, with those clouds lingering down to the south. And tonight, it's going to be colder. We'll see the numbers drop down into the low to mid-30s. A pleasant Thursday is on tap, but like I said, the weekend, things go downhill. I'll have a complete look at that weekend forecast coming up.
Thank you, Nathan. And developing this afternoon, state police resumed the search for a man accused of triggering a standoff in South Arkansas earlier this morning. According to the Camden News, investigators say David Davenport barricaded himself inside a home near Mustin Lake in East Camden when deputies tried to serve a warrant. Authorities say he later fled on a motorcycle, launching a large-scale manhunt around the lake involving helicopters and K-9 teams. We'll keep you updated as new details come available. And state police send out a warning after seeing an increase in online crimes involving children. And new data shows reports of online exploitation involving Arkansas kids are climbing quickly. Investigators handled 391 sextortion cases, while online enticement reports surged to more than 5,600, nearly a 500% jump. Police also tracked 11 suicide threats and tied 5 child sex trafficking cases to online exploitation.
A lot of times we forget to ask them, have you seen this? And they just say, if you see this, you need to come tell me, or, you know, it's bad to see this, but ask them, have you seen this? Or have you heard any kids at school talking about it? Because that's a very important component too.
Other advice from the State Police Task Force on internet crimes against children: keep track of the social media apps your kids are using and how they interact with others on those platforms. A man who says he was detained in connection with the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie has been released. The developments came after the FBI shared new images Tuesday of an armed masked person outside the Tucson home of the 84-year-old mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie on the night she went missing. Andres Gutierrez spoke with the man who was released in Arizona.
I didn't do anything, to be honest. Like, I'm innocent.
A delivery driver named Carlos told us he was the man deputies detained as a person of interest in the Nancy Guthrie case.
He told me to stop moving. Like, what's your name? Carlos. And that's it. They put me in the cop car.
Overnight, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department searched his home in Rico Rio, Arizona, about an hour south of Tucson and close to Mexico's border. But they released him hours later.
I mean, I hope they get the suspect, because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name.
The developments come hours after the FBI released new images captured by a security camera outside Nancy Guthrie's home the night she went missing. The chilling video shows an armed masked person wearing gloves and a backpack.
They're going to spend hours, if not days, looking into each one of those items, and some are so unique.
Retired FBI agent Lance Lysing says the individual's behavior, such as picking up shrubs to apparently try to cover up the camera, indicates the person is not a professional criminal.
Extremely amateurish. And I do think that it gives investigators hope that if they're amateur at the door, they've made other mistakes.
It's now 11 days since the 84-year-old mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie was last seen. Authorities are urging the public to call in any tips that will lead to a break in the case. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Rio Rico, Arizona.
And now to an update. One of the agencies working to revitalize Pine Bluff is on thin ice after the city's mayor vetoed their funding. Vivian Flowers blocked a city council measure supporting the city's urban renewal agency. In her veto letter, she pointed to a lack of progress as evidenced by the steady number of distressed buildings almost 10 years after forming the agency. She also questioned whether the agency could count on a steady funding source, but city council members who support the effort dissolving say it would be even worse.
The Urban Renewal Agency is in a better position to manage the projects in which they have, and right now the city budget could not withstand taking on those projects at these times.
Their primary role is to focus on blight removal and demolition and revitalization. How do you do that with no sustainable funding, no grants, and one employee? You don't.
Mayor Flowers says she and the council are working on a compromise. The council could also override her veto with a 2/3 vote. $1 million grant from the state attorney general's office has turned into a new cyberspace operations research and education or core center. The space is designed to expand hands-on learning, support advanced cybersecurity research, and help prepare students for careers in a rapidly growing field. University leaders say it's part of their commitment to serve the local economy.
This new center allows us to expand our reach and impact, increasing access to high-quality cybersecurity education and hands-on learning. It also reflects our broader commitment as a university to serve students, support faculty innovation, and build programs that meet the needs of Arkansas.
That grant from the AG is from October of 2024, and the new building is located inside the Engineering and Information Technology building. After a brief government shutdown, the delayed January jobs report is out, and it's stronger than expected. Employers added 130,000 jobs last month. That's double economist expectations, while the unemployment rate ticked down slightly to 4.3%. Sectors like healthcare and social assistance saw continued growth, and even construction bounced back after losses. Last year, payroll fell in federal government and parts of the finance industry. Last month, while the report shows stronger momentum than December, Bankrate economist Mark Hamrick says if you're looking for a job this year, approach the search with cautious optimism.
January looked a little brighter, but that doesn't mean that the recent past in the job market has looked very good. Job search times are certainly taking much longer than would have been in the past. This is not a red-hot job market. We now have fewer job openings than we have total unemployed, and that means that people are going to have to be patient, maybe a little more diligent or creative as they look for work out there.
Hamrick says January's job growth may also reflect seasonal hiring in retail and logistics after the holidays, plus winter weather-related shifts that kept some businesses busier than usual. A dangerous fungus is spreading across the nation. After the break, hear what doctors are saying about this new infection. Welcome back. A dangerous fungus is spreading across hospitals and nursing homes nationwide. The superbug has become more resistant to antifungal medications. Nick Calloway has more.
A little-known fungus is becoming a growing public health concern. Candida auris is drug-resistant, hard to detect, and spreading fast. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there were more than 7,000 reported cases across the U.S. last year, a sharp increase from just a few years ago. Those cases are now reported in more than half the states in the U.S.
When you have a colonizer that can colonize the skin and can also persist for long periods of time on, for example, bed rails, on catheters, you have a situation where you have extensive transmission.
Dr. David Perlin is the Chief Scientific Officer at the Center for Discovery and Innovation at Hackensack Meridian Health. He said the deadly infection is spreading mostly in hospitals and nursing homes. Patients with a severe underlying illness are most vulnerable. Hackensack Meridian Health published a medical review last month that warns the fungus is becoming more resistant to antifungal drugs.
And sometimes we get drug-resistant forms where there are no more antifungal drugs that are available to treat it. And that's why it's being called, quote, a superbug.
Researchers say outdated diagnostics often misidentify the infection, which delays treatment. While researchers are testing new antifungal drugs, experts say early detection and strict infection control are the best defenses right now. Nick Calloway, CBS News, Nutley, New Jersey.
Good afternoon, Arkansas meteorologist Nathan Scott. We are in a drought situation, extreme drought to exceptional drought across parts of the region. But we do have rain in the forecast, and this rain may come down quite heavy and just run off. So that's why we do have a slight risk of flooding across a large part of the state. And it's primarily for those typical trouble areas, poor drainage areas, low-lying areas, and also smaller creeks and streams. Minor flash flooding concerns. Here's projected rainfall from two different weather models. Model number 1, European, shows the heaviest rain situated into northwest and north Arkansas. Meanwhile, here in central Arkansas, it's a solid inch for most places. But then the GFS, the second model, shows higher totals right across central Arkansas. So right now I'm saying generally it's going to be about 1 to 3 inches of rain from this next event, which arrives here Friday, but really builds its way in just in time for Valentine's Day. So 63 tomorrow after starting out into the low to mid 30s. We'll see a high 63 on Friday. Lots of clouds. The chance of showers moves in here maybe a little bit later in the day than what we were expecting this time yesterday, but certainly want to keep that rain gear close by throughout Valentine's Day because there will be rain across the region, and we do have that weather impact alert in effect. Front made its way through last night. That front continues to sail its way down to the south and southeast, ushering in some slightly cooler numbers. But our next system still well off to the west into California, and that will make its way across the country. It will develop into a surface low pressure right over the Red River Valley for the weekend. And the path of this system primarily will keep the threat of severe weather just down to our south, Louisiana and Mississippi. Now, this path changes, hikes a little farther to the north. We'll have to watch out for potential of maybe a couple of strong storms into South Arkansas. So here's my forecast, and it's primarily going to be those southern 2 rows of counties into South Arkansas. There could be 1 or 2 storms that may try to produce some gusty winds and small hail, but at this time, it looks like a large part of the storm fuel will stay just below Arkansas. Future radar for Friday. Clouds on the increase. Here comes the rain, especially through the afternoon into the evening hours. It'll build its way in from the west. But this high-resolution model shows a large chunk of the heavy rain Saturday morning could be just off to our north. Other information, such as European, shows widespread coverage of rain to begin the weekend. So here's Friday. Rain builds its way in throughout the day, really starts to develop across the region through the overnight. And there you see Saturday around noon, a good chance of rain across a large part of the state. But I really think the heaviest rain will be happening here in the morning. We'll see a lull in the activity, a little bit less intense rainfall before a better chance of showers and maybe some thunderstorms rolls its way in here while you're taking your sweetheart out to dinner for the late afternoon into the evening hours. It all clears out of here on Sunday, so we'll see dry conditions on Sunday, and temperatures will be very pleasant, pretty much into the 60s. Tonight, 36, high clouds, a colder night in store. Tomorrow, 63. There will be some more clouds in North Arkansas later in the day. And your 7-day forecast features temperatures staying into the upper 50s to lower 60s. Once we get past Saturday, we got some really nice weather headed in our direction for next week. Temperatures soaring into the 70s, lots of sunshine. Those daffodils will likely be blooming in some parts of the region, and probably the crocus as well.
All right, Nathan, thank you. And Team USA is shooting for more success today at the Winter Olympics. Americans won 5 medals in 5 different sports on Tuesday. That's never happened at a Winter Games. But one of the top U.S. performers missed out. Reporter Seth Dolan has more from Italy.
Appearing in her 4th Olympic Games, skier Michaela Schifrin said she could not find a comfort level to get to speed. Placing 15th in the slalom portion of the team combined and losing the slim lead her teammate Breezy Johnson earned in the downhill left them 4th overall, surprising fans we spoke with.
You expect them to win, but that's the great part of the sport. You never really know, do you?
But their time did push Team USA's Jackie Wiles and Paula Moltzen onto the podium to capture bronze.
What is it like to see these women in person?
Inspiring. It's really fun to see them out here representing the United States and skiing their little rear ends off.
On the ice, American quad god Ilya Malinin kicked off his hunt for an individual gold with a stunning short program. Teammate Max Naumov scored lower, but his performance, dedicated to his parents who died in last year's DCA mid-air collision, could not have had any more heart. Fighting for gold, American curlers Corey Thiese and Corey Dropkin led going into the last end of their final against Sweden, before ultimately falling short of the mixed doubles win. The pair earned a bittersweet silver.
That's an incredible achievement.
Curlers Aiden Oldenburg and Luke Violette told us they're hoping to use some of their teammates' momentum going into today's round-robin session.
How is that to watch Corey and Corey doing so well?
Awesome. We're drawing on a lot of their energy, their excitement, and some of the things that they've done, overcome, and accomplished this week to translate into our own week here.
Some good news for the USA after a long freeze, picking up a medal in men's cross-country skiing. 25-year-old Ben Ogden from Vermont picked up the silver in the men's cross-country sprint. It is the first time any American has stood on the podium in men's cross-country skiing since 1976. Seth Doan, CBS News, Cortina.
Some say everything is better with coffee. And for one class in an elementary school in Highland Park, Texas, coffee is giving the students an amazing opportunity. Photojournalist Mike Kinney takes us inside Champachino's.
It's a busy morning in Ms. Beck's classroom.
It's crazy hour.
Hi, my name is Hadley. Welcome to Champachino's. Thank you for visiting.
Champachino's is a coffee shop for teachers run by students with disabilities.
What can I get for you?
Teaches them all a bunch of life skills. We have a greeter, a menu passer, and money passer. And then we have a cashier and then the barista.
What can I get for you?
Shiloh Smith is the barista with a smile, taking all the orders.
So busy.
She loves to talk to everybody.
You pay a little bit, please.
Okay, can we get a high five or a hug?
Hug.
Her mother sees the change it has made for Shiloh.
Seeing just her confidence grow and getting to come to school every day and show people her strengths and her gifts. She's such an outgoing girl, and getting the opportunity to greet everyone every day, I just see what a smile it puts on her face every week.
I think they were all really nervous to start, but I think now that they see like all the teachers come and all the teachers I think look forward to it every Monday, it's just like such a great thing for them to experience.
This experience is possible because Beck received a local grant that covers the cost of all the supplies.
How neat for Champachino's to be a program that was developed by Erica to think outside the box. She didn't have to worry about funding because she applied for the La Fiesta Teacher Innovation Grant, and the La Fiesta approved it and gave the funding for it, and she's off running with a fantastic program.
Because it's hot.
A program Beck hopes shines a light on the abilities her students have rather than their disabilities.
How cute. I love that, to get to experience what it's like to be a barista. When I was a little girl, we liked to play restaurant. Did you ever do that? Take your parents' order? No,
I
that was just
was
me.
the only child, so I didn't. If I had a brother or sister, I probably would. But our cousins did it like a few times. But yeah, that's a great idea. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I would certainly purchase
maybe
coffee
tea
from their shop.
Right. Yeah, or some hot chocolate. Any of that would be great.
All right, well, sweet treat not in store for Valentine's Day. We've been telling you weather impact alert. Yes, it's going to rain. Yes, there could be some periods of heavy rain. Severe weather threat is fairly low. Once we get past Valentine's Day, of course, that's when the weather turns around in our favor. The temperatures next week, we're climbing up into the 70s.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be really nice next week. And today is pretty nice, too. I just
today's
stepped
pleasant.
outside and soaked up some sunshine. I love it. Thank you for joining us here on Arkansas News Now. Have a great day.